Alrighty guys, so we're back with part 5 I think it is. I don't know, I've lost track and I think we're up to part 5 anyway. So let's get into it, and today we're going to be setting up the site. So where was I? Hopefully, let me know if the quality's a bit better because I've got the good camera back out. I've got the old flash camera back out, so let me know if you think the quality's a little bit better. But let's get into it. Have I said everything I need to say? I think so. All right, so let's get into it. First thing we've got to do is get the old bright sight machine out and do the third axis. But before that, let's pick what type of scope I'm going to use. So I was using this old scope for a recurve. But I'm gonna, so it had a recurve amateur on there. How's this? Let me show you this at home. It's in a focus for me. Focus for me, the good camera. Okay, look at this, adjustable apertures. How cool is that for a recurve sight? So that's something pretty cool. So we'll get that off and get the compound one back on there. Alright, get that off. So there it is there. Let's put that aside. Now I've got a few to choose from. I've got the double vision lens. See if you can see it at home. It only clears up, it only magnifies the very center, so all you can really focus on is the gold. Like, that's all that gets magnified is the gold. It's a bit hard to see, but the center's getting more magnified than the outside. So that's one option, but I don't think that's a very good option for the 3D. It's not a bad target sight, but it's not a very good 3D sight because you've got to really see what you're shooting at, don't you? And the other option I have is a Cartel triple, one of the cheapies. These are a great scope. I've got a few of these actually. I thought I did anyway. Should have a ×6 somewhere. Ah, here it is. It's in here. Don't lose these knots. Don't lose these bolts. I've already lost one. So I've got a couple of these ones. I've got a ×6 and I've got a ×10. It'd be interesting to see what the ×10 goes like. So we've got the ×10. Oh, doubling it up. How's that? And a ×6. So I think they're not a bad option, but I think they're just a bit too small. They're a great target option because see, they're a small little window, but I think they might be a bit too small for 3D because you need to be able to see. What I've noticed when I've been shooting the 3D or the 2D, that it makes it, if you can't see the whole target, it makes it hard to work out where you're aiming. So what I'm going to go with is a super large housing. How's that one? Now I've either got this in the ×4 or a ×6 lens, but I thought we'll go with the big boy, because now I'll be able to see the whole target and see exactly where I'm aiming at. So I thought that's the one I'm going to go with. So let's throw this one on. Just got a message. No, I didn't. What happened here? You're kidding, it stopped recording. I'm trying to get some good audio for you. Oh yeah, we're still going? Okay, we're still going. Something just kicked in. I don't know what happened then, but we're still going, so we're laughing. All right, so good audio, good picture, hopefully for this one. So that's the scope I'm going to be going for. The big boy, the big bad boy. And I probably need to clean this lens, but we can work on that later. We can clean it later. Let's just get it set up. So that goes in there like that. Let's make sure we put it on the right way. There. Okay, so that means this has to face on the inside. Now we just got to put this little knot on. Little knot, keep calling them knots. What's with the knots today? A nut. Well, that's the wrong size. Ah, because these are for this size thread. Okay, fair enough. That's a big one. Different size threads. Can go on there. Let's see if this nut will fit it a bit better. Got nuts everywhere, nuts and bolts. Okay, that's the right size nut. So now we just need to screw this on. Now the hardest bit with setting these up is trying to get this square to the machine. There's no real way to, you really just got to do it by eye, which makes it really tough. Because your third axis doesn't really account for the twisting. I think I've got it pretty spot on. All right, there we go. So that's on. Let's give it the final cinching. The final cinching. Okay, so we've got a scope on the housing. Now we can plug it in, hopefully. And this is a Sherlock sight, so I'm going to be going with the Sherlock sight for the... Look what I've done. Look what I've done. I've put the pin upside down. I did it the back way. You're kidding. How did I do it upside down after I checked it? So thick, so thick. Okay, let's loosen it off and re-square it up. Just when I get it dead set perfect the first go, I've got to put it on backwards, don't I? Always the way. I just said it too. I just said it. What was I thinking? Okay, so I'm just lining up this flat edge with this flat edge, making sure they're both flat at the same time. That looks pretty good. The final cinching. Hopefully it's the final cinching this time. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. It must be the times 6, that magnifies it a fair bit. Okay, so now we've got the scope. What do I do with me bolts in there? Okay, so now we can get this and get the old bright sight third leveling machine out. So here's the bad boy himself, the third axis leveling machine. Getting this out. Throwing the bright sight one on. Throwing the bright sight one on. Throwing the Sherlock mount on. So you put the mount onto the housing of the bright sight third axis leveling machine. Now we just got to tighten it up. The processes you got to go through to get this timing right, to get the bow set up. There's a lot to it. But you want to do it right the first time, don't you? So then it's not screwed later on. So it'd be good to go straight off the bat. Okay, let's throw this bad boy on here. Probably run it about there, I think. Not too far out, not too far in. That's very heavy. Okay, so we're right on this thing, perfect. First axis is a fraction out. Now where's the first axis? Just there. So the good thing about the shore lock, it comes with first axis micro adjustment, second axis micro adjustment, and third axis micro adjustment. Which makes things easier to get it precise, but harder to set up. Okay, so undo the lock. Loosen the lock off. Counterclockwise. Now the thing is with these ones though, that's a dual turning thing. You have to loosen one off, then turn it with the other. God, that's so micro adjusting. Okay, another twist off this side. Loosen off that side, then back to this side. Oop, wrong way. Okay, so I need to loosen this one off. And tighten this one. So we get it perfect. Okay, so I've got plenty of videos on how to use this bright sight machine. There we go, first axis done. So now we've got to retighten this one. Perfect, and now relock the screw, relock the lock. Locked in. Just double check these are all nice and tight. Okay, first axis. Not perfect. Let's go back. Okay, it's just like a thousandth of an inch out. You want it to be perfect, don't you? The final countdown. Loosen this off a touch. There we go, now we're spot on. Now we're spot on. Okay. Perfect. So now we can lock it down, hopefully for the final cinching. Okay, first axis done. How do we do it? How does it go? First. That's your third axis, isn't it? How do we, hang on. So we've done the second axis. We just did the second axis. I missed the first axis. Write in the comments who was guessing, who was saying that? Who was saying in the comments, you're doing the wrong first? Okay, here we go. Let's see what this is looking like. Oh, the first axis is way out now. Okay, so the first axis we're doing. All right, don't you love it? Okay, let's loosen it off again. Holy moly. Okay, which means the second and third axis is way out, I think. So that was probably right where it was. Let's move it back. Okay, now the first axis is done for the third time. Okay. All right, we're back. Now the first axis is done, perfect. Now we can move on to the second axis. Let's lock it all down. It's not even tight, that one. Okay, lock it down and tighten up these ones, making sure it all stays the same. Okay, first axis done. Holy moly. Now, second axis is, I think this is the second axis, is it? Yep, this is the second axis here, which means I need to loosen off this one. The second axis isn't micro adjusting, surprisingly. Okay, so now we need to get all of these three to line up. You don't get much movement for the old second axis. It's like at its limit. Okay, let's just give it a half cinching. Okay, first and second axes are now done. Let's cinch those off. And then double check. All right, all three bubbles are perfect. Let's give it the final cinching. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, first, second axis pumped. Let's throw in the third now. The third's pretty much spot on already. Third's out, just a fraction out. Okay, so third axis is here. Got to loosen off this one. Oh, the good thing about this Sherlock, you can do your second, third axis with the first axis machine, because it's loosening, because it moves the whole housing. Okay, loosen that off a bit. Twist this one and see what happens. Wrong way. Alright, and there's the third axis done. This micro tuning on the third axis makes it really easy. Okay, so now all three bubbles are all level. Let's cinch that down and give it the final cinching, and we're good to put it on the bow. Okay, all cinched up. Let's double check. First axis is perfect, second axis is a fraction out, is it? No, first, second axis perfect. Third axis perfect. Okay, so we've got the first, second and third axis done. So that means I can take this off. There we go, be careful not to bump it too much. You can pack up the first axis bubble machine. Okay, we can take this off and chuck it on the bow now. What one did I tune it to? Just after the C. So if you want an easy way to get your third axis, check out Bright Sight's third axis leveling machine. Third axis leveler at brightsight.us. All right. Put the third axis machine away before I lose it, because I'm good at losing everything. Oh no, so I've nearly lost the screws. It's always something I'm losing. So the third axis leveling screws, put those in before I lose them. Alright, what's this nut off? Oh, I got a spare second lock nut in here now. Just found a nut, nuts everywhere. There we go. Okay, so that's not coming loose now. That's there, that's there. Now that's packed away. Now we can chuck it on the bow. Let's get these away. Let's not lose those. We can start to mount it to the bow. Now I use the middle holes, the Evolve 35. A couple of people were asking why it's got the old roller guard, because I got the last year's model. Archery Supplies in South Australia hooking me up. So if you're wondering, it is an Evolve 35, just the last year's model. And I think the new ones are about to come out too. Wonder what they're going to be like. But yeah, it's just the roller guard that they've changed. And I think the only difference between this model and the latest current model is the roller guard, and they put an extra support beam in the cam. But besides that, they're exactly the same bow. So they should shoot exactly the same. If I break the cam, I'm sure I could get another one from Archery Supplies in South Australia. So if you need any PSE gear, make sure you check out archeryshop.com.au. Best value in Australia. Final cinching. Now you want to make sure these nuts on your sight housing are super tight, because they tend to wiggle loose. And you don't know until you start getting bad scores. Let's throw it on and have a look. There we go, the bow now has a sight. Third axis done already, nearly ready to shoot. All we got to do now is attach the drop away rest to the cable, and we should be good to go. All right guys, so that's going to be today's video, part 5, I think. Putting the sight on the bow, sighting up the bow. All right guys, so hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons, and I'll see you in the next video. Yeah.